Hi, I'm Mario Labad and welcome to KLIK Celebrity Corner, where beautiful people meet and share their thoughts because every story inspires and every inspiring story must be shared. Since it's pageant season, we decided to devote our episode tonight to pageantry, both male and female. And of course, one of the most reliable persons to talk about this topic is someone who has been in the industry for years and who has been a resource person when it comes to fashion and pageantry. A member of the board of directors of the longest, if not one of the longest pageant industry in the country, the Binibining Pilipinas Charities, now celebrating its 59th year. Friends, please welcome a very good friend of mine, event and fashion director, and a staunch advocate of buy local, the absolutely fab trendsetter, Madame Raymond Villanueva.
Oh my God!
How are you?
I am so happy with that intro.
Oh, really?
I feel so young with that
Okay,
intro.
you're all young.
I love it. Thank you for having me, Mario. And
Finally!
I know, finally!
After how many weeks I've been tracking you?
I know.
We got hold of you right now.
That's right, that's right.
And I've heard you're fresh from Iloilo
Yes!
for sure.
We
Yeah,
just
talk
finished
about
over
that.
the weekend. Yes.
Oh.
Well, aside from Ilo, I've been traveling all over because we like to be in the click all the time.
Okay.
So with that, but I'm so happy, and I just realized Binibining pala is 59 years
Yes.
na. My
Oh.
goodness, I wasn't there first when I
the last
started.
25 years.
Half talaga.
Oh, anyway, I
Yes,
have
Mario.
noticed, Madam, that you have been traveling a lot all over the country lately.
Yes.
Either as a pageant judge or a fashion director. Now, my question is, do you have too many beautiful girls in the provinces that we can mount as many pageants as we can every year and be able to choose the deserving candidate to represent their country in the various international pageants we intend to participate?
I was asked that question actually a few
Okay.
weeks ago when I was in Pangasinan. There is 100 million Filipinos, diba? And
Beautiful
beautiful Filipinos. Everybody's beautiful because we have so many regions. And as a judge in all of the local pageants, I have noticed one thing that's very common in all these pageants.
And which is?
This is the thriving, striving way to become a beauty queen. That's one thing now, especially now. Everybody has that ambition to be a beauty queen. Another thing that I also notice is that all of them, telling you, from 7,100 islands to every province, all of them has something that's very unique.
Okay.
And that is their personality.
And their culture, maybe?
Yes, the culture is a big thing, but I notice it's really the personality because you get to see all these girls up close.
Upbringing.
Yes, upbringing nila. Ang ganda. So, ang na-notice ko, unlike before, aminin natin, when they were going to the nationals, we call the pageants in Manila the nationals, ready na sila. Diba? Ready na sila.
But is there a distinct trait of each region from every girl that you've
Well,
met?
I think the trait that they bring in their own, like you mentioned, your culture. The women, the girls from, let's say, the Visayas are quite different from the girls from Luzon. I mean,
Mindanao.
why? There are certain aspects of their personality. Do you think the Visayans, like we are Visayan, are we more gracious and we smile a lot?
Yes.
If we come from a colder region, do you think they don't smile? So I think all of this puts all the perspective on what they really want inside. And that is to win.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
In every girl.
Yes, everybody wants to win now. I wonder how it feels to be a loser. Diba?
Well, that's part of the pageant.
We always say that. But in the reality, I don't really see the losers anymore. Because after a pageant, I don't see them anymore.
No, at least they grow after.
Yes, I think they will grow after going to 5 contests all over the Philippines. Anong tawag doon? Contest.
Tyra. Have you met some of these women?
Oh,
the
yes!
contesteras?
And they married well.
Oh.
That's one thing nice. They're all married well.
Oh. I'll be a contesera, siguro.
Yeah, okay! Naku, bagay sa'yo, friend.
Anyway, now, I've learned that this year's batch of Binibini candidates are impressive.
Quite.
And there are... My question is, are there more titles added in this year's batch?
Well, if you watch the contest on May 28 to 2023, you will find out.
Okay.
So as of now, I have not found out anything. But yes, you know, going back to the girls, we had almost 100 applicants. And they were so diverse. I was telling Precious, or one of our co-board member, these girls are so diverse. Why? They came from so many countries, and countries that, quite surprisingly, I never, like we had one from Sweden, one from Norway. So, ang raming characteristics, ang raming personality in pumasok. And surprisingly, well, not really surprisingly, but quite lots of them have master's degrees.
Wow.
Diba? They really are into the fact that I will study, I will graduate, I will study more, and I will become a beauty queen.
Yeah. Dapat ganun ang peg lahat ng mga candidates na potential beauty queens.
Hindi naman. I think ang totoo talaga sa beauty contest, and I mean, with Binibining, every year is always different. You know, there will be one year a 16-year-old will be more beautiful than a 25-year-old. There will be one year when everyone is a professional. Everybody's working. Everybody's taking, you know, extra jobs. There will always be that beauty queen who wants to dream. So I think every year, that's why I mentioned a while ago, when you go to the province, you see all these dreams. But you talk to them. That's why, especially post-pandemic, I had a good opportunity to travel all over the Philippines. And in places that I've never been to, and get to know all of these girls. I mean,
I know
really,
their culture and tradition.
their background.
Their background.
Kasi when you go to the nationals, you just meet them. That's it. I mean, you don't know their background. So at least now, like I know for a
But you
fact,
never travel all around the country in search for a candidate for Binibini.
No, because in Binibining we're open to everyone.
Ah, okay.
The screening is open. We do not have, you know, like franchising or anything. It's just open to everyone. So you're just a Filipino with a Filipino passport. You are part of Binibining.
Okay. Now, what do you think is the edge of Binibining Pilipinas? That no matter what happens, many girls are still excited to join.
I think it's a tagline, once a Binibini, always
Always
a
a
Binibini.
Binibini,
I think it's
okay.
there. And, you know, the one thing nice about, not just for Binibini, but for most of the brands in the Philippines, it's longevity.
Okay.
Longevity will still be part and parcel of how a success comes to your brand.
Yes,
diba?
of course.
So, di ba in the fashion industry, ang tawagan namin Nyora.
Oh,
Senior
okay.
designers,
Oh, yes.
senior writers, senior editors, senior photographer. It's always Senyora. Same with Binibini. It has been there for quite some time, 59 years already. And that, I think, would always be the pinnacle of any successful branding in the Philippines. It's
Okay.
longevity.
And also of the girls, the winners.
Well,
More than the girls.
I think it's the totality. You know,
okay.
Binibining has given us a platform to showcase really the best of the Filipina. You know, if you go to the jingle of Binibining, diba, the opening line is, where did she get those beautiful eyes? Diba? You know, I mean, that itself already, the tagline of Binibining, you know, gives us already a thoroughbred group of women.
What do you think is the future of pageantry in our country?
I know, it's so bright because
Okay.
everybody really wants to have a pageant.
Okay.
Why? Because of social media. We are
Yes,
so strong in social media. Do we really have to be at the venue to watch these beauty pageants? No.
Okay.
That's one thing. Because let's face it, beauty pageants were made for TV originally
Okay,
and made now for social media.
Okay.
So ang laki talaga ng impact ng beauty contest on social media.
But there are too many pageants
It's okay
nowadays.
because we're so beautiful. We're the most beautiful race in Asia.
It is is it good for the industry?
Yes, it is. Because
Why?
in the end, it is a business.
Ah, okay.
Let's face it, beauty pageant, it's a business. So the more there's a business, aminin natin, competition is always welcome. And the
Okay.
beauty queen, the beauty pageant world is always a competition.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there are some drastic changes in other, especially international pageants, particularly in the requirements,
Yes,
like
yeah.
no more height requirement,
Yes.
single or married moms can join as long as they meet the required age, and of course, transgender
Yes.
women can join the pageant
Yes.
meant for women biologically. Your thought on this?
It's quite controversial,
Okay.
really. I just noticed, I was also asked that question a few weeks ago. It just redefines beauty.
Okay.
You know, I remember I would quote this model. She was a supermodel from the 20s.
Okay.
Si Carmen del Orifice. And she's 90 years old. She just got a cover for Vogue, Czech Vogue.
Not Paulina.
Not Polina, but
Uh-huh.
this is Carmen. And
Okay.
she just said one thing that really has gotten to me. And she said, beauty is never about age.
Okay.
Diba? So, I think that line itself is already a changing scenario for all beauty contests.
Okay.
So, we'll start with age, we'll start with relationships. So, from there, it's always a step.
Okay.
Now, if a woman at 90 can redefine beauty by saying that beauty is not about age,
Okay.
then we can redefine the beauty contest world.
Okay. But is Binibini ready to embrace these changes?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Yes, we are.
Really?
Yes, even the transgender. A few.
So you're well.
years
They're
ago.
already welcome in
Well,
Binibini.
we are not yet officially what's this in an official capacity, but I think we will go with the flow. Diba?
Okay.
With whatever is really the.
Madame Stella is ready to do this.
Well, we are in the board, so I guess
Okay.
it really depends on the board. You know, we still talk among each other.
Whatever is the decision of the board, Madame will just follow.
Well, there is a board. It's democracy.
But do you also believe that all their candidates have the better chance of winning, especially in the international pageant?
Alam mo, destiny yan. It's always
Okay.
about that. Who would ever take Pia words back?
Yeah.
First runner-up ka na, in 10 seconds, you become Miss Universe.
Yeah.
If the crown is meant for you, it's meant for you. What is meant
Whatever
for
is the
you
age.
will find you.
Kasi may iba kasi nagsasabi na na dapat mabago is the age. Because it's 27, 28, but at least 30.
Well, like I said, age does not define beauty.
Yes.
Yun lang. Yun lang nasa isip ko.
But kung ikaw, what age is allowable?
Age does not define beauty. That's all I can say. Diba?
Okay, now, if Binibining Pilipinas management would give you a chance to impose or innovate,
Para ko beauty contest.
yes,
na
of course,
candidate.
or innovate something in mounting the pageant,
Yes.
what would this be and why?
I think every year Binibining Pilipinas is at par because it is always innovative.
Okay.
That's
So
all.
for this year,
It's innovation.
like what? For this year?
I don't know yet. You have to find out on May 28th.
But is your decision also depend on the board?
Always, yes. That's
If
why
you
there's
suggest
support.
something,
No, it's
they will
always
always
support.
okay.
We talk among each other.
Now, and do you think 10 or 15 years from now, beauty pageants are still relevant?
Oh yes, because I'll still be alive. That's basically it. Once we're still there, the pageants will always be relevant.
Okay. Now, let's talk of the male pageants.
Oh yes,
It's
I've
true.
never been to one. Actually, I was being invited in Cebu.
Okay.
But I couldn't make it. It
Why?
would be my
It was exciting, don't you think so?
the male pageant. I don't know because I've never been to a male pageant. But I did direct body shots, which is a modeling competition.
Okay.
For both male and female.
Female, yes.
So, but as a judge in a male contest, hindi pa yata ako kinukuha. Hindi ko alam kung bakit.
Bakit kaya maraming male pageants nowadays?
I think it's social media. It's social media because, you know, the pageant world is for social media.
Okay.
Diba? I'd like to watch a pageant in the comfort of my home, in the comfort of my phone.
Okay.
Diba? So, I think that's basically it. We're looking at this the
Entertainment.
audience. Entertainment on a scale that's very personal.
Ah,
Di ba?
uh-huh.
Because sometimes, remember when we were watching TV, the pageant, marami tayo.
Oo.
Ito personal to eh.
Yes,
I noticed
sabagay.
that. I noticed that.
Lalo pag mga lalaki ang...
Hindi ko alam. Kasi hindi pa ako, wala pa na kumukuha sa akin mag-judge.
Ayaw mo kasi tanggapin.
Mataas ang TF ko kasi.
Anyway, some conservatives are claiming that male pageants are allegedly being used as front for exploitation and worse, male prostitution. What is your take on this?
I have no idea. I cannot say, I cannot confer, I don't know. I've never heard of that. I guess my work does not really go to that area, so I cannot say anything. I don't know anything about that. Like I said, I've never even been a judge to a male contest.
Wala bang balak ang binibini to put up a ginoong
I
binibini?
have no idea.
A ginoong Pilipinas. I know, meron pa ginoong Pilipinas eh.
I know. I don't know.
Okay.
That is
But they
really-
used to have the Mr. World.
Yes. I remember we had 2 winners, but I wasn't yet with Binibining when Mr. World was there.
Okay. Now, do you think male pageantry would be more vibrant and competitive in the years to
Of course, andyan ang mga bading. Kung andyan ang mga bading, of course it's going to be vibrant. Kung walang bading, no vibrancy. Same with female beauty pageant. It's
Okay.
all about the fans.
Okay.
You know, every pageant will always be successful because of the fans. Without the fans, there are no pageants.
Oh, okay. Now, since transgender women are allowed to join a pageant meant
Yeah.
for women,
Yeah.
biologically born women, do you think transgender man will be also allowed to male
You know,
pageants?
I was also asked that question, also by Mario Laban last year
Okay.
in another show. But I think it is really the times.
Okay.
If the times would allow it, then why not? So it's a generation. You know, aminin natin, everything is generational. Everything is based on the times, divine timing, divine order, divine everything. So whether the time is here, fine. If the time is 20 years from now, then we go with the times.
Okay. Very safe answer yata.
Very, di ba? How lovely.
Ay, gusto ko yung balahuraan.
Isang araw.
Anyway.
Beauty contest.
Oh, okay. As a pageant enthusiast yourself, what's your biggest frustration in this industry?
None.
None?
Because every year something new comes. You know, we're here with the
The
excitement.
process.
Even the process. I mean, if you go to a process that you're trying to change a process that has been there for the longest time, why change? That is why sometimes change is not suitable. Because why
Okay.
change something that's already, not broken?
But we have transgender joining.
Yes, but again, it's based on the times. Will the time be
Okay.
today, tomorrow, or next year? No.
Okay, now, you're a staunch supporter of Buy Local.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, is there such an organized group, a formal group,
Yes.
promoting this advocacy?
Well, it all started pre-pandemic. I noticed during the pre-pandemic it was really hard for us in the fashion industry to really push our fashion shows, our branding, and everything. But the pandemic has changed that. When we were not allowed to go out of the house, when we had to buy local, our food, and that got me thinking why we should go local. I had a tagline called "Buy Filipino, Buy Local," because I wanted, even for me as a Filipino director, it had to be local. Tapos the emergence of everything and anything local was such widespread, di ba? With the new administration that was pushing to buy local. Plus the fact that na-discover natin ang Pilipinas. I had to discover the Pilipinas. Like this jacket of mine is by Don Cristobal.
Made of what?
Well, it's cotton pa rin, but I just love that, the outfits by a Filipino designer or Filipino brand looks important. I think that's the most
But you don't
beautiful.
wear imported clothes.
I don't buy now. That's one thing.
But it's given, you're
I
gonna
always
wear
say
it.
buy local, buy Filipino. The word is buy.
Okay.
Both BY and BUY.
Okay.
If you're going to buy now, don't. because
Okay.
I believe that there's so many beautiful things that's happening now in the local market. Diba? So that's why I always wanted to use. In fact, I was very happy that we have a group called the Philippine Heritage Society, and we've been advocating that. Our group is advocating that. We go to places like Taal, Batangas. Even I want to rent all these old homes and just transform it to what we feel is local.
Okay.
Tapos, ang maganda pa rin dito, a lot of us still cannot go abroad because we're scared. So what is the best thing? Is go all over the Philippines. Enjoy the
Explore.
Philippines. Explore the Philippines. I've been to places this year that I've never even heard. And so many beautiful things that I've never seen.
Are you enjoying?
I'm enjoying because it's free.
And you earn.
And, yeah, sometimes.
A paid trip.
Yes!
diba?
Well, that's why we like local.
Okay. And you promote it?
You have to be promoted also.
Now, regarding the buy local, are you promoting certain local products or Pinoy products in general?
I think we start with the weaves. We have a group also in Ateneo, a group of Ateneo students under Professors Jalcita and Dita Sandico.
Danny Jalcita?
No, Fernando Jalcita. He's a
okay.
professor.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have, it's called Zoomista. So it's what are you wearing in front of the camera. So this is the area. Then we have the Philippine Heritage Society also, and that advocates a lot that has to do with heritage. Whether it's fashion, whether it's architecture. Kasi nga, yun na nga, hindi tayo makakatravel as much as possible. And then, all of a sudden, the influx of food that's Filipino. The influx of fashion that's Filipino. Tapos nakita natin, ang ganda pala ng Pilipinas. Kasi nga, a lot of us cannot travel. Even if we do travel, we go back to the fact that, oh gosh, you can discover so much. Remember during the pandemic, ang kinain lang natin, leche flan. Because everybody was making leche flan. Diba? I have to make leche flan. And I discovered local fruits. Diba? Then I discovered, one thing that I discovered was there were so many designers and artists just coming out. Diba? I remember I interviewed this guy. He was making ganchillo.
I did. During the
Diba?
pandemic,
Diba?
my mask.
Ganchillo.
Yeah, I do the
Diba?
ganchillo.
So people were discovering all these things that you can make money. There is also, I don't know.
I didn't sell it. I wore it.
You wore it. Ria Bolivar, one of the top models in the Philippines, are doing bags made of ganchillo in Iloilo. So yun. Tapos, ay isa pang nakakaloka na in my travels all over the Philippines, this is the one thing that really got to me, how we are going back to what our Lola and Lolo used to do. For example, right now, water is such a big problem, diba, in the Philippines right now. So everybody's going back to the banga. Remember the thing that
of
even
course.
diba, they're always going back because that's how our lolas used to store water. Diba? So now it's coming back to that emerging ways of how to actually put both Filipino, the traditional way, and of course the life
At
we
malamig
have now.
pa. You don't need...
Actually, ito pa nakakaloka. Filtered na siya. Huwag mo lang inumin bukas. Today, bukas pala. Tapos sapatos. You know, I have a lot of friends from Marikina who's giving me shoes. So,
Lilio.
Yeah, Lilio is part of Binibining this year.
Really?
Yes, it's our shoe sponsor already. Manufacturers of Lilio. Another thing is technology. You know, a lot of us already, you know that most of the big electronic gadgets are also Philippine-made. Some of them are Philippine-made. So, ang rami nangyayari na yun na that's why the beauty pageant world is also thriving because of the word, let's say Miss Philippines, Mr. Philippines, Mrs. Philippines. They're using the word Philippines.
Now, I asked you about that the particular product because if we talk of locally made fabric,
the weaves.
yes, I guess it's not meant for daily wear, or it's quite expensive.
Well,
like the yakan, the
well, that's very. I've been hearing about expense.
hablon.
Yes, recently I just did a show
And
for Hablon.
Musa of Davao.
Yes, I did Hablon recently for Iloilo.
Okay.
Because we were doing a fundraising for Biagyao Iloilo, which is the home of Hablon. So designer Nono Palmos, we did a fundraising this weekend in Iloilo. Yes, the fabrics are expensive, but you must remember, you are helping a community. The weavers all over, whether it's Aklan, whether it's the Ilocos region, whether it's even Maragondon, Cavite, Baguio, these are communities.
Okay.
So what do you do? Because you must remember, during our time of our grandparents, everything was Filipino.
Yes.
Diba? We were buying local cotton. We were buying the local rami. We were calling the
Abaca.
local abaca, diba? Designer Dita Sandico has her banaka. So, if we can do that, why not? Because
Okay.
it's really the community. Plus, we're also a little tedious with fast fashion. I was just talking to a client.
RTWs.
Well, it can be RTW, but fast fashion is now literally you wear it once and you throw it. That's the one.
Not the pinya.
That's right. If you're doing pinya, kalado, di ba?
Yes.
Itatapon mo ba
Oh,
yan?
exactly.
And you'll really
Diba?
respect the material.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oo.
Of course, these local fabrics have been in existence for years, right?
Yes,
Now,
super.
how come it has not been widely developed?
It has, actually. I was talking to the pinya
Chosen
weavers.
areas, I guess.
Not really. Surprisingly, pinya can be found as far
Aklan?
as Aklan. Yes, you have also in Aklan, but you can get it also in Antique.
Okay.
The Hablon is in Iloilo, but there's also a weave called the Maragondon in Cavite.
Oh.
Also. Then, of course, you have the banacas of Dita Sandico, which is a
Mm-hmm.
combination of banana. It has been there for the longest time.
Yes.
But, ako, ito seriously speaking, Mario, I think it's also social media. It was also the trend when someone influences you to buy imported and not buy local. It changes the whole aspect. So right now, we really need you, and as an influencer, Mario, to really espouse buy local, buy Filipino.
Then why not convince Miss Heart Evangelista to promote local?
Well, the fact that she is a Filipina,
Okay.
so deep down inside, I think her essence is Filipino. Because she goes abroad, maybe she's there as a Filipina.
Filipina. Okay.
So ako, I'm happy with that already.
Okay.
It's a step.
Now, I ask you that because in an interview I made with our friend Amir Sali,
Yes.
yeah, he mentioned that there is no such thing as a fashion industry in the Philippines. Wow.
Well, I am part of the fashion industry. The fact that you're being paid and you pay other people is an industry.
Okay.
That is an industry. Actually, I remember a director told me that. The industry is because you are paid. That makes an industry.
But how about the product itself?
The product will always be there, but you must remember, the fashion industry also, not only the fashion industry, but all industries, will always have successful ones and not successful ones. The successful ones would always say, yes, we are doing well. The not successful ones will always say, we're not doing well.
Yeah, but they're buying products or fabric abroad. Most of the successful designers.
No. Right now, well, maybe a few years ago, yes. But right now, marami na pumapasok.
Locally made
Well,
fabric?
we are doing the weaves. We are doing
Okay,
weaves. Why? Because we are being influenced now.
Okay.
Whether it's by the administration or being Filipino.
But there's a technology to make a fast, to fast track the weaving, doing all these
we
fabrics.
must remember, couture was not made in a day.
Yeah.
So it has to be that. But I think
but
we
only
are,
if you can wear
Oo.
couture.
But that's the thing. They don't. We have to understand that wearing the pinya
Okay.
and make it a barong Tagalog is a process. And in
Okay.
that process, you just imagine the craftsmanship that is involved there. So fashion is also about fit. Diba? Yan ang maganda lang sa fashion,
And
diba?
time.
And time, diba? So you have to have time. Hindi siya everybody tells me, pang mayaman siya, pag hindi. When I was asked,
Pero mahal siya.
what is fashion?
Ah.
It's fit.
Okay.
Pag maganda ang fitting sa'yo, yun ang fashion.
Okay. Whether you bought it from ukay-ukay
Or not.
or from
Basta magandang
from
fitting.
a
That totally
designer.
changes our conversation about the industry. But sa akin, fashion is all about fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not necessarily locally made fashion.
social media again will play a big role.
Okay.
If they're going to push a foreign brand or a local brand or influencers will push it, we will follow.
Okay.
So right now, one of my quotes that I love about the fashion industry is, fashion you can buy, style you must possess.
Oh.
Diba?
From Raymond Villanueva.
And my other friend, Iris Afo, this influencer from New York, I love that because it really speaks about our conversation now that yes, you can buy fashion, but you have to have style.
Okay.
And whether your style you want.
So if you have no style, you have no fashion. Is that it?
Well, fashion in that case,
Okay.
because you bought it. But style nga, you need a good fit. To be
But you cannot
stylish.
buy style.
You cannot buy. So you have to be born with it. Kasi binaptize ka na.
Yeah, exactly.
Dinadya ka ng pare. Ay, stylish ka na. Diba? Yan importante.
Now, you've been directing fashion shows for years.
Yeah.
Now,
2 years. Charing.
what do you think is the biggest problem of the so-called fashion industry in our country?
Money. Like anything else.
Okay.
The live events industry is always based on budget.
At least live events are back.
It
Limited.
No, we're not limited, but it's technically, we can't really say we just call it event.
Okay.
Diba? We just call it, it's live event. Unlike pre-pandemic, my fashion show, my concert, my what they call this, my gala, my ganon. Now, we just say it's an event. Diba?
A social media event.
Yeah, social media event. Diba? I've been
Yes.
attending so many
Zoom.
social events. Zoom event. So yun na yun ang nangyayari. Ang maganda lang is, I hope there is a reason to mount these events.
Okay.
Meaning, is it charity? Is it for someone who needs money? Is it sponsorship? Those are the things that we have to put in mind. Kasi kung ang mahal kasi na yun talaga. So, totoo lang, ang mahal. I have seen, especially last year, how people, the visionaries and producers, hirapan talaga sila. Saan tayo kukuha ng budget? It has been there for the longest time, but now, it's more evident. Diba? Because everybody wants to mount something that's beautiful, that's successful, and you don't want to be frustrated after. And the pandemic has taught us frustration. Diba? Ang frustrated. That's why, sana wala ng COVID. Charing.
Okay. Sana. Let's just pray. Now, do you think for the fashion industry to have a full circle, government must come in?
I was also asked that question.
Not by Mario Laban.
But not by Mario Laban. Mario Montenegro. Charing! Mario Montenegro. I think it's basically, like in any aspect of life and business, galing sa'yo eh. If you start it, if you build it, if you make it huge, then people will go to you. Whether it's government or other sponsors or other benefactors, they will go to you. Pero sa akin, sinasabi, kahit sa ako I had to start on my own Diba? In my social media, my everything. Like you were telling me a while ago, sa'yo yan When you do good, the world will be with you.
Will follow.
And follow you. That's right.
Di ba? Very
Marami kong
nice.
quotable.
Oo. Now,
Lord.
if you were to give an unsolicited advice to the government regarding the fashion industry and achieving a complete fashion business in the country, what would this be?
What is meant to be will find. So if the government is really meant to help and be with us in an industry that needs help, then fine. But we are at the point now that, because we've proven that during the pandemic, na if you can do it on your own, do it.
Okay.
Diba? If you think government will help you in certain aspects, then fine, you're lucky. But you have to strive it. You have to really start everything on your own. That's one thing I believe. Because a lot of people did it on their own kasi during the pandemic. But you did it on your own. Almost everybody that we know did it on our own. Diba? All the designers became artists. Diba? All the artists became designers.
Yes.
Diba? All the people, directors like us, writers like us, now we have social media.
Okay.
Diba? Models, sold insurance, di ba? Or something, or big businesses. So,
Okay.
ang rami eh. The one thing I've learned lang is not to stick to one job.
Ah,
Yan talaga. I'm telling everybody now.
multitasking.
No, not multitasking, but do things that are passionate, that you want to do.
Okay.
Because you'll be happy. Kasi, for example, if there's another breakdown or whatever, di ba? Kunyari na walang live events, at least meron kang isa pang choice, di ba? Na
Yung
gagawin mo.
plantito.
Parang ganon. Oo, parang ganon. Because if not, you will feel the mental anguish of losing everything. And we don't want to come back to our life again. Di ba?
What's the best thing you've learned during the pandemic?
Kailangan maganda ka lang talaga.
What you are?
Ay, that's why you know what everybody learns is to be healthy.
Okay.
That's why I'm so shocked when
Or
people are
life
dying.
is too short. Make
Like,
most
yeah,
out
most
of
of
it.
it. So take care of yourself. You love you know that's one thing about the pandemic. You loved yourself more than other people. Because other people did not take care of you.
Yeah,
Yung
exactly.
kine-question sa akin.
Nasa bahay ka lang kasi
Kinikwento
palagi.
sa akin ng mga COVID victims kasi tinatapon nga yung pagkain sa hindi na pagkain sa'yo. Yes, so you have to take care of yourself.
Are you not alarmed that there's already an increase of
It's there.
COVID na yun?
Well, you know, if you're healthy, you're
Infection?
healthy. I think if you love yourself now, you take care of yourself. And you know, I think we already know kasi
How to survive.
how to survive. Yes. Oo, importante yun. Kasi if not, let's not go back to pre-pandemic. I don't want to go back to that world. I want to this world now that I'm happier, I'm passionate with my life, I'm even more, I feel younger with what's happening now.
More
diba?
beautiful.
Ay, naku talaga. Alam mo, hirap na hirap talaga maging maganda. Buti pa dito sa KLIK Celebrity, maganda lahat ang tao. Diba?
Anyway, in a month's time, we're gonna celebrate the LGBTQIA++ Pride Month.
Yes,
Okay,
that's in
now.
June.
Oh, June. That's the annual Pride Month.
Yes.
As of today, the SOG Equality Bill hasn't been enacted into law.
I don't know why.
Yes, now. And has been languishing in the halls of Congress
Yes.
for years, actually. What do you think is the real status of
SOGPL?
not the SOGP, but the LGBTQIA++ community in the country today?
Fear.
Until today.
You know, a minority, the majority will always look at fear
Okay.
at the minority because one day the minority will become the majority. So like in any aspect where there is hindrance to progress, it's always about fear.
Okay.
And a community, and not only the LGBTQ community, but every community must look forward with
Minority, you mean?
Yes, the minority. I'm sorry, the minority. No fear. I think that's still the most. That's the reason we're all here, di ba?
Okay,
Bakit tayo andito? Because may tapang tayo. Kung wala tayong tapang to face kung anong talaga nasa harap natin, we'll always languish. So, whoever is still not pushing the SOGI bill or any bill that helps the minority
Okay.
is fearful that one day the majority will be also the minority.
But will you lobby for the bill if given the chance?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
I will because I've been in an industry that has no discrimination. I've never been discriminated. I've been welcomed, and when I hear things that other people are just discriminated or not welcome, then that means that I have to fight for these people also because I am in a lucky place that I was not given any. I wasn't given choices actually to whether to. Everything was just nice given to me, and happy ako doon. But when I hear
They
that-
embraced you who you are.
Yes. I think that's the word that I was looking for, embrace. Kasi yung iba hindi. And I'm
Okay.
fighting for those people.
Even your immediate family.
Yes. in
They
the
welcomed
family.
you. There was no problem from the start.
Success will always play a big role. I think when you're successful,
What if you didn't?
then I think you'll have also a hard time.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. You'll be a hard time. You have personal grudges, you have personal vendettas, you have everything. So, kailangan mo just like whoever is not passing the bill or not giving enough attention to a minority, is to make sure that they themselves are not in such a troubled world or troubled. I think, I remember my guru would say there are no good or bad people in this world. They're just miserable and joyful. I'd rather be joyful than miserable.
Of course.
So people who are not, who are really bad are not
miserable.
Usually haggard sila. Charing!
Are you for same-sex marriage or civil union?
I still believe in love. Love is the only thing that gives us strength.
With no ceremony?
Love is still the best.
Yeah.
Whether it's same-sex, whether it's civil, whether it's divorce, whether it's that.
But the properties you're sharing, what will happen?
If you don't love each other,
Yeah.
and the relationship just doesn't, go to the aspect that people realize how comfortable they are with each other. So they'll get married, they have same-sex marriage or live in. Love pa rin eh.
Okay.
Diba? And how do you love one another? You just have to have really nice hands.
And elbows.
And elbows.
And
knees. Oh,
knees.
diba? You remember.
Yeah, of course.
So people who love each other, they have nice hands, elbows,
And knees.
Oh.
Now, on the lighter side.
Ay, lighter na ba yun?
On the lighter
Oh.
side, how's love life?
Ay, nako! I am in love with myself. That's one thing I know through the pandemic. I fell in love with myself. Sa totoo lang.
Narcissism.
Hindi naman. Depende kung tinitingnan ko yung yung tubig. No, it's so nice.
Kapitbahay mo?
Oo, it's so nice to fall in love with yourself.
Okay.
Really, it's pampering yourself. It's making sure that you're healthy.
Okay.
It's making sure. Di ba when you love yourself, you will make sure that the food you're eating is good.
Okay.
The company you keep is fun. Diba? Wala yung mga toxic na lagi ko naririnig. Love yourself.
But having a relationship, will it add loving yourself too?
Yeah, loving yourself. Because the only time you can have a relationship is when you love somebody else.
Yes,
Diba?
definitely.
Love yourself, then love somebody else.
A reflection of how you love someone,
oo.
right?
Pero so far right now, mahirap kasi lagi sila nakamask.
Patanggal mo ang mask.
Ay, gano'n.
Di ba? Oh. Now, Direk, in 3 words, how would you describe yourself, the younger Raymond Villanueva?
3 words, no? 24. I am absolutely fab.
And in
that's
3 words, Raymond Villanueva today.
Fab. 21 lang. I was asked that a while ago. So how do you describe yourself? I think I'm absolutely fab. Now,
okay,
I'm in this time, and this is
The pinnacle of your career?
Wag naman. Kasi pagtapos sa pinaka, pabagsak ka natin.
Still, okay.
I feel fab. I feel fab because life has just been so good. Because I look at life as up and down, side and to and fro. So I feel that we're fab.
Is your online show back?
Hopefully!
Okay.
It is absolutely fab at Halo Halo Station. We'll go on our 5th season.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Now, any shows?
Well, yes. And,
Your social media platform.
For social media, I just want to thank Twinings. I was there during their launch. They invited me as one of their influencers. So to Jean Hart Paraiso for inviting me to Twinings. And we're doing a big summer show at Glorieta with Mags Wear. Mags is coming out with their spring-summer collection.
It's May?
Yes, May 20 at Glorieta. Actually, maraming
Immediate
dramatic
shows
things.
or provisional shows?
I'm doing the fiesta for Santa Cruz Marinduque this weekend, so I'll see everybody in Marinduque. So I love going all over the place.
Your socials.
Everybody, just watch me on social media. Charing, that's my socials
any account or account?
Soon, I'll explain everything to them. when they see me.
Okay. Okay, on that note, thank you very much,
Thank you, Mario.
Raymond.
Thank you always. Namaste,
Of course.
namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so
And
much.
good luck to all your shows.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank
At this point, we would like to thank our very generous friends. To Arthur Cotilbog, a good friend of mine who is now based in Italy, thank you for your support. To Nes Astilla Salon, especially to Fritzy, with 3 branches in Metro Manila. To GIA Soap Making, based in Davao. To Mr. Eugene Yap, the General Manager of Bayview Park Hotel, Manila, your home by the bay, and to Miss Vernie Galang, the Sales and Marketing Officer, and to her assistant, Miss Shannon Sornes. And to Avzea Studios, owned by the husband and wife tandem of Harold Tapan and Ann Gilera. And of course, PMM Multimedia Services, the producer of our show, headed by Paolo Clachete. Till next week for another meaningful chit-chat with your favorite celebrity, only here on KLIK Celebrity Corner.